had been involved with Helping Hands since its inception. It grew out of the congregation wanting to do more local mission work because they had already been very active in the mission field down in Louisiana, New York, New Jersey, the Gulf area.
We started doing mission trips, and just evolved into, well, if we're going away and doing things, people around here need to have some help, so we decided that we would start this a local thing.
Helping Hands is a group of folk that gather on Saturdays to go out into the mission field to serve local families who need repair work or rebuilding or projects done at their home that cannot do them for themselves, either by virtue of the type of work that needs to be done or by their economic situation.
I guess Helping Hands days are like mission trips in miniature. So people are able to just get the Helping Hands experience on like one day a month, and then are able to build on that, putting those skills and those relationships to good use when our church sends people on mission trips.
You learn a lot about yourself on these trips. You learn a lot about the needs that are out there. You also learn new skills for the job sites that you're on. So it's a very growing experience, very rewarding experience as well.
So going into the houses, everybody on the team has different skills. So there was one gentleman who's a master plumber, and he just took on the kitchen and the bathrooms, and it was incredible to watch him work. Some other people were more comfortable painting. I did a lot of painting in the beginning, and we had folks with us that really wanted to teach. So there was a gentleman who actually came from a different state. He's not even a part of our church, and he comes down every year and helps, and he taught me how to hang a door, put in a ceiling fan, which was very neat. And then I got to spend a lot of time in the bathrooms as well, actually putting in the tile on the floor and seeing something go from bare bones to completely finished in a usable bathroom by the time that we left. So I got a really good chance to learn from everybody on the trip and kind of get my hands in a little bit of every aspect of every room in the house, which felt really neat.
Well, it depends on the trip and it depends on the project. Oftentimes we will get to know a homeowner and build a great relationship with them, but there are also other times, depending on the amount of devastation, where the homeowner is not even present. That happened after Hurricane Katrina. There were a few people that could not be in their homes because of the severity of the damage. Probably the one that was the most powerful was our first time down to Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina. We arrived about 8 months after the devastation, and at that point FEMA had come in. They had marked the homes that were most severely damaged with the signs that had the amount of people that were to be living there, the amount of people that were dead, when the check had taken place. And as we moved into town, coming off the plane and got in our cars to go out into the mission field, which is about 45 minutes away in Slidell, there was nobody on the roads. And when I tell you there was nobody on the roads in New Orleans, it was the most surreal thing. You would see house after house with blue tarps, and you would see neighborhoods totally decimated where there would be absolutely nothing there, and then this huge pile of rubble.
We went to Louisiana, and it was right after Katrina. You could try and describe to somebody what that looked like, and you can't, because you just can't.
But at the same time, the human interactions that we have are just as, if not more important than the work itself.
And we really got to sit and talk with them and hear their story, and their daughter was there as well, and she has some difficulties, so she lives with them. And it was really nice to see their faces walking through the house, and her face. She was so excited about her room, and to hear a little bit about them. So
some of the best houses I've worked on, the homeowner has been there. all the time. You know, they're still living in the house while we're doing it.
See all kinds of people. People who have made good decisions and lived good lives, and life just hasn't turned out the way they had hoped their life would. But also, those same people have the most generous spirits and hearts, and they're very kind and they're very appreciative. So those are the things that kind of really are striking, even more than the work.
It's good to have contact with the homeowner from the point of view of us being there to help, but it's also good for the homeowner to have people come and help them.
Obviously, they're very thankful, but you can really see it and feel it, you know, when they're telling it to you. And sometimes you hit with a homeowner, and you just know that the work you're doing is kind of transformational. It's just you're really presenting them with their home or their work or whatever you've done, and it just makes such a huge impact on them, that you know, well, they've been transformed, I guess is the best way to put it.
For them to have their house fixed up and be able to use something, and it certainly improves their living conditions, but sometimes it actually improves their life. On occasion, it's a life-changing thing for them, not just, oh wow, now this is better because this works, or this is better because that doesn't leak, but often it's better for them, their family, their life. How bad does it have to be for somebody to get a new roof and it's changing the rest of their lives? But it is.
I mean, we've had an opportunity to partner with some marvelous people that were very forthcoming with their gratitude. And that, of course, helps you when you have given of your time and some of us talent. I mean, I happen to be just a painter. I'm not that talented with the tools and what. It's nice to know that your work is appreciated.
We walk in and the walls are bare and there's no pictures, but you get an essence of who they are when you walk around their side yard and you see their things, their sheds, and a lot of the stuff is moved out and it was in the backyard. So just to see their personal kind of belongings, to get a sense of what kind of things they were interested in and if they had any pictures that were out. So it was really neat to see that.
You know, something really, really bad can happen to them and they could still be gracious and grateful and think that, you know, this is a wonderful thing. They focus on the wonderful thing that's happening to them, that, you know, people coming to help them, and not so much the bad thing that happened to them.
You get more out of your experience working with the homeowner than you probably think that you give, because you really are blessed by hearing their story. You're blessed by seeing something happen at their home and in their lives that they probably couldn't provide for themselves. So you end up really experiencing something wonderful, as well as them having work done. So they are, by and large, very, very, very grateful.
Some of them are more life-changing than others. They're all changing lives in some way. They're making somebody's life better. They're making their living experience better. But some of them actually are, still the same term, life-changing, but really life-changing.
I mean, I've been on mission trips where people have gotten an entire bathroom rebuilt, an entire kitchen rebuilt, where they've gotten their life back because they hadn't been able to clean out their home. So they've had sort of their whole home restored to them, or they've been able to put up beds. There have been people that weren't able to have beds in their home, but now because they have space built or whatnot, or using a door to come in, you take that for granted. Well, there's some people that their doors haven't worked, or their electricity was not up to code, and every time they'd open a door, they'd get shocked. I mean, there's all sorts of things that happen. So you really provide practical help by helping them make their home safe and livable, and in some cases really, really beautiful, and that brings them joy, which is a really great thing.
You know, you're helping them, and they think they're the luckiest people in the world.
That we've been a very, very small part of your life, but we are very problem? Well, it's not a very small part. Everybody that has been here has been a big part of my life. Because this would not be, it would not have happened. I would not have had my home if it had not been for everyone that has come.
You're usually going to somebody who needs help. And that's not always fun to see somebody who needs help.
You see such a transformation of both the work you do and the effect that has on people.
Morning. We got you this magnolia tree to thank you for everything that you've done for us this week. Because you've done a lot of runs, and we just wanted to give it to you as a thank you.
I'm not doing nothing for you. You're doing something for me.
Oh, you did lots for us. And we also
That's a
have.
magnolia.
Guys, stand on that side with him. Let me get your picture.
Okay. We got some mulch.
You can sit down.
We got you some mulch.
We got you a nice prayer shawl. This is a Bible for you, and then there's a Bible for your granddaughter.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But I don't
Everyone-
do nothing for you.
Mary,
You
come
don't
on
do
over.
anything
Come
for me.
on. You did a lot of
Gotta take
schlepping.
one.